Hey, what's up guys? I'm the Detail Geek. Today we're going to be detailing this 2002 Chrysler Sebring convertible. This car is 16 years old already and it's definitely showing its age in a few spots. So in this video, I'm going to show you all the steps required to bring this old car back to life. Okay, so before we get started, we need to have a look around the vehicle and see exactly what kind of shape it's in and where we need to focus our efforts. So looking at the front of the car, we can see that there's some water spots, bug residue, and other road grime on the paint that we'll need to remove. We can also see the tires are browning and the rims are covered in a film of road grime and brake dust. Moving on around the car, we can also see a number of small door dings and chips in the paint that we'll want to be careful around when we wash and dry the car so that we don't make them any worse. Then looking at the interior of the car, we can see it's going to need a good vacuum and we'll have to get into all the nooks and crannies to get all of the dust out. We'll also need to wipe down all the plastics and vinyl and dress them. And this vehicle also has leather, and although it doesn't appear too dirty, we'll still make sure to clean and condition it so it's protected going forward. Oh, and by the way guys, I'll have links to all the products I used in this video in the description box. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you never miss one of my future videos. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so before we get into the pre-wash stage, I always like to rinse the vehicle off with the pressure washer so I can get as much dirt and grime off as possible so that the wash stage is even easier. Then when I get to the wheels, I always make sure to do a really good job spraying the tires, as you can remove a fair amount of grime and the old tire dressings just with the pressure washer. Once I'm done rinsing the car, I always start by cleaning the wheels and tires, as they're always the dirtiest part of the car. I start by spraying on a non-acid wheel and tire cleaner, and then I use a stiff bristled brush to clean the tires. Then I use a variety of soft brushes to clean the rim faces and the inside barrel. Now, being that these tires were pretty brown, I'm actually going to clean the tires again, and because when I spray on the cleaner and agitate it's turning brown, that actually means that the tires aren't quite clean yet. You might need to do this a couple times until your cleaner doesn't turn brown anymore, and then that's when you know the tires are actually clean. Okay, so next we move on to the pre-wash stage, where we use our foam cannon to cover the vehicle in foam, which will help to lift and remove some of the dirt. Then while it's still covered in foam, I always go around with a soft detail brush and clean around the emblems and all the trim. Then we rinse the car off and we get ready to wash it. Now, when we wash the car, we always want to use a soft microfiber mitt and a 2-bucket method, which means we have 1 bucket with our soap solution and another bucket to rinse our wash mitt in. We always wash from the top down, go panel by panel, and use straight lines without too much pressure, making sure to rinse your mitt after each one. Then once I've gone around the whole car, I use the leftover water from my wash bucket and clean around the fender wells. Okay, once the vehicle's washed, we rinse it off and pull it into the garage to dry it out of the hot sun. I always use 2 microfiber towels to dry the vehicle, one to soak up the majority of the water and the other to get it perfectly dry.
Everything you said we already knew, more or less.
Well, here's something that you didn't know.
Once the outside is dry, I take a microfiber towel and wipe down all the door jambs and inside the trunk. And another thing I always do is wipe down the wiper blades, as there's usually quite a bit of dirt and grime built up on them. Next, I turn my attention to the interior, and I always start by vacuuming the carpets, the floor mats, the seats, and inside any cup holders or cubby holes. Then I spray an all-purpose cleaner on the floor mats and the carpets, scrub them down with a carpet brush, and then wipe and blot it off with a microfiber towel. Next up is all the interior components. And for this, I start by going around with a detail brush and a damp microfiber and getting all the dust out of the cracks and the crevices, and also wiping down the whole interior and cleaning it in the process. Now I turn my attention to the leather and start by using a warm, damp microfiber towel and wiping down all the leather surfaces to help open up the pores in the leather. Then I spray some leather cleaner on a microfiber towel and rub it into the leather, making sure to get into all the seams really well. Once I've done one seat, I take another microfiber towel and wipe off the residue. Next, I apply some conditioner to a foam applicator and thoroughly work it into the leather, and again, wipe off the residue. When the morning The last step with the interior is to apply a UV protectant to all the plastic and vinyl surfaces, and I do that by spraying some Aerospace 303 onto an applicator pad and then apply it. And just as a side note, I usually do a final vacuum at this point to finish the interior, as being in and out of the vehicle so many times tends to result in some more debris on the carpets that you want to get removed. Now that we've got the interior all finished, it's time to finish on the outside and get the paint protected. So generally when you're dealing with an old car like this, you want to decontaminate the paint with a clay bar to remove any contaminants that are bonded to the paint, such as tar, tree sap, or industrial fallout. And we do this by spraying a clay lubricant on a panel and rubbing the clay bar over the paint until it feels nice and smooth and it's picked up all those contaminants. And you always want to make sure that you've got enough lubricant. You never want your clay bar to be sticking to the paint. For this detail though, I used an all-in-one cleaner wax that will help to remove the film that was on the paint, and at the same time it puts down a layer of wax to help protect it. Once the vehicle is waxed, I then dress the tires with a water-based tire shine that won't sling off onto the paint like silicone-based ones do. The very last step is to clean the glass, and you always want to do this out of the sun or when the glass is cold, or it will get streaky on you. Okay, so that's it, we're finished. We can back this car out onto the driveway and have a look at the results. Baby, you're the one for me. Baby, you were meant for me. I'm madly in love with you. Baby, you're the one for me. Baby, you were in love with you. Baby, one for me. Baby, you are meant for me. I'm madly in love with you. Baby, one for me. hope you guys enjoyed watching this video and seeing the transformation that the Sebring had. It was pretty incredible. And if you did, make sure you smash the thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel. I'll have more awesome detailing videos like this coming your way soon. Alright, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.